Yo, what's up, Teddy? What's up, brother? How you doing? How's everything? How's life? It has been a while. It has been a while, and that's my bad. Let me share this. How's everything been with you? Today we're doing 1098 and 1099 because I haven't had a chance. I was gonna read 1098 a few days ago when I got home, but I figured 1099 was coming out in like another day or something like that. So I was like, let me just wait till I can do them both. Because I was already very late for 1098 anyways. Now I'm not too late. I'm kind of late for 1099, but I'm not too late. But I like to read them in bulks too. Anyways, let's get straight into it. All is good. Oda been cooking in Egghead. Okay, so are we gonna be back in Egghead or are we gonna be in a flashback? That's what I want to find out. But we're gonna get right into it. 1098. I haven't been spoiled on anything, but I know how big it was. Like I know everyone was talking about like how devastating it was. Whatever ended up happening with Ginny and stuff like that. So I'm assuming 1098 is probably the end of the flashback, and 1099 is Egghead. But let's go. 1098, Bonnie's birth. Reader request: Brooke busting out a solo using an electric eels, using an electric eel to power his guitar, by Noda Skywalker. That's hilarious, yo. I also heard. I'm reading it on Viz right now, so I don't know, but I heard that when chapter 1098 came out, it wasn't even completed. Like Oda didn't get a chance to finish it. Like the drawing was not completed, and I don't even know if the chapter itself was completed for like the first time in One Piece history. But it's been like what, like 2 weeks now, and I'm reading on the official, so I'm assuming I'm not gonna see any of that. But anyways, let's get right into it. Revolutionary Army Headquarters. Let me know if you can hear me clearly too. Hold on. Actually, let me adjust this. Revolutionary Army Headquarters. Requesting aid. The rebellion in Toomey in the South Blue is overmatched. We can't go. Our ships are already loaded with the injured from Goa Kingdom. Eva. And this is Kuma talking. Eva, I'll go. Don't even think of it. You've been pushing yourself too hard ever since then. Huh? He's huge. Who is that? Where did he come from? Ginny's been captured? That's right. It seems a celestial dragon had his eye on her. And oh, celestial dragon. She was taken on a government ship to be that celestial dragon's wife. Oh no. We won. Finally, 3 years of war have paid off at last, and it's all thanks to the Revolutionary Army. Our units was wiped out by a surprise attack. It's the revolutionaries again. Oh, that's their flag? Have we ever seen their flag before? The Revolutionary Army are the true heroes of the people. I'm so sorry. It's me, Dragon. I'm tired. I'll take a ship home. What's going on? Wait. I'm so sorry. Someone's saying that in the flashback. And then Kuma is saying, it's me, Dragon. I'm tired. I'll take a ship home. Yeah, the sound is good? Alright. Thanks, bro. I'm so sorry. Ginny, a captain of the Revolutionary Army, was abducted and made into a celestial dragon's wife. Roughly 2 years later, we're here, Bonnie. Is Bonnie gonna be the. No, Bonnie's a child of Kuma, not a celestial dragon. We're here. Wait, roughly 2 years later, we're here, Bonnie. Kuma, come quick. It's from Ginny. Hey, I'm back, Kumachi. Back to the lower world. Ginny, I got sick, see? They didn't want me anymore. They dumped me off. Wow. Lucky me, huh? Sick? I really wish I could see you all, but this is me saying goodbye. Huh? Oh, wow. Yeah, this drawing is. Wow. Oda did not complete these drawings at all. This panel over here. I really wish I could see y'all, but this is me saying goodbye. Huh? What are you saying, Ginny? I thought I'd never see you again. Where are you? I'll be there at once. You can still make out everything, though. You can still see what's going. Oh, wait a sec. Never mind. No, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I think that's her holding the Denden Mushi. I'm sorry, Komachi. I'm dying. It won't be long now. Huff, huff. I appreciate your concern, but don't come looking for me. Dragon, big bro, watch over Komachi. He's too kind for his own good. Move it. There's only one place she'd come back to. And Komachi, just remember. And Komachi, just remember. Hey, Kuma. I'll always love you. Hangs up. You're back? Where's Ginny? Is she here? She is, but her face and body, all of her skin, turns blue and hard as stone. After it's been exposed to natural light, she said, Komachi, I'm so happy. I wonder what happened to her. Let's get married, Komachi. They're mixing up too much of the flashback with what it's a little bit confusing. All of her skin turned blue and hard stone. After it's been exposed to her natural light, she said, I wonder what happened to her. I'll make you happy. And Kuma's crying. She crossed the sea by day to ensure her baby lived in case anything happened to herself. Somehow she made it here safely. And we see Bonnie crying. Don't worry, Ginny. I'll raise your daughter. Oh. Bonnie is the daughter of a celestial dragon. That's huge. That is huge. That is very big. She's not actually Kuma's daughter by blood then. I'll raise your daughter. As he bears Ginny. No, all wrong. The bottle's at the wrong angle. You're drowning poor Bonnie in milk. Here, let me do it. Like this. She's so darling. She needs an iron cage to sleep in. If you roll over, you'll crush her. Oh, look at her go. She's a champion drinker. She's got Ginny's appetite. You see a flashback of Ginny wanting more food. Back to the church with Bonnie. Daddy. Everyone's loving her. Yeah, she's definitely Ginny's daughter. The amount of food that she eats. Maybe Luffy is too. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe, actually, that could very well be the case. Because Ginny and everything that Bonnie and Luffy have in common seems to come from Ginny. And Ginny has more than enough ties to the Revolutionary Army and Dragon for it to be a possibility. And Luffy's birth was unknown to the world anyways, because Dragon is the world's worst criminal. So it's not like Luffy's birth would have been recorded. No one even knew who Luffy was until Marineford. Like in terms of his lineage. He's bathing her. And then now we cut back to the modern times, right? And he's destroying Mary Joa. Going back to him sleeping, him training with Sabo, Kid Sabo. Kuma, what are you doing, man? Why shutter all the windows in the church? Huff, huff, wheeze. Shut the door. Who's that? Is that Kuma? Look, below her eye. A blue stone? Oh, is she getting sick too? Wait, is that what killed Ginny? I'll call the doctor. Please do. Really, when you go into sunlight, let's take you out for a test. So Bonnie can't be in sunlight? Haven't we seen it in Sabaody? Wasn't she in sunlight? Well, it's not white lead disease. I'm sorry I don't recognize this one. You're quitting the revolutionaries?
Bonnie's caught the same disease? Yes. I don't know what to do, but I want to be with her. Very well. Live without regrets. We'll ask every doctor in the world that we can. I appreciate that, dragon. 7 years ago, Bonnie, age 5. So Bonnie is 12 years old? Bonnie is 12? Yeah, I ran away. Don't get eaten by the vampire. Get lost and don't get found. Stupid brats. Bonnie, age 5. Heh, you can't come this far. Oh, you're a vampire who can't come into the light. Take this cross. Shing. Take this. This is a church, idiot. She flying drop kicks him. You want me to chase you out there? Wait, Bonnie. Please just don't go outside. Even the doorway makes me nervous. You're such a chicken daddy. I'm just kidding with them. Well, don't do it, even as a joke. I won't. I don't want to make you sad. Damn, he really cared about her. Aw, you've grown up to be such a good girl. Stop it, crybaby. You know what they did? They made fun of my face stones again. Is it that weird?
It's a disease. I can't help it. What, your jewels? Yikes. Hee, you think so? Oh, wait, hold on. Yikes. They're just jealous because it makes you look so beautiful. Haha, you think so? Yes, I love them. After you're cured, Bonnie, if we went on a trip, where would you want to go? That's the question Kuma always asks before eating people. Do you know about Sky Islands? There are islands in the sky? That's right, I saw it in a book. And maybe Nika will be there, since it's so close to the sun. I bet you'd be excited about that, Daddy. Doom da da da, doom da da da. The sky would be a huge adventure. Maybe we'll do that once you turn 20. And where was your 19th going to be? Fishman Island. I'm afraid that what your daughter has is an incurable disease. It's not the first supernova with this. Known as sapphire scales. You know what it is? Please, not so loud. I've only heard of a few cases in recent memory. All kinds of natural light, sunlight, moonlight, cause the stone to spread. But even if you block the cause entirely, it will eventually spread over time. Yo, Ringo, my heart is here, but I can't listen. Fair enough. Right now we're reading 1098, on Viz. This is a sad-ass chapter, man. Very sad. I'm going to be brutally honest with you, sir. Your daughter has 5 years to live at best. She won't see her 10th birthday. And there is no known cure yet. Age 10? It can't be. She's so healthy. Is there really no way to stop the disease? But we know she lived 7 years after this, because this is 7 years ago. So maybe her devil fruit has something to do with it, or Vegapunk. Or maybe both, her devil fruit and Vegapunk. Boo, she scares Kuma. Bonnie, I thought you were asleep. I heard that. What about age 10? Oh no, you better not tell her. Age 10? What do you mean? I heard you say age 10. Wait, are you crying? Is it about me? Oh, age 10. Yes, at age 10. Would you believe that doctor? He told me, don't say it. Don't say the opposite. That you won't get better until you reach age 10. Oh my god, this is so sad. I had a feeling he was gonna say that at age 10 is when she'll be cured. Because he can't tell her the truth, and what else are you gonna say? Just tell her the complete opposite. So she's gonna be waiting until she's 10 to be cured. And then when she's expecting to be cured, she dies. Bro, this is heartbreaking, man. That you won't get better until you reach age 10, huh? It seems so far away. I was feeling a little down about it. So I'm gonna be better when I'm 10? And then I can go around the world with you? Oh no, what do I do now? Of course, you'll be better when you're 10. Yay. What have I done? 1 year later, the nightmare returned to Sorbet Kingdom. Hey Kuma, Kumachi, you have to help. King Bikori's gone and done it again. It's 16 years ago, all over again. Like God Valley? He's gonna burn everyone he thinks is weighing the country down. Oh. He's inhuman, I tell ya. They're slaughtering folks in the streets. Is this where he becomes the tyrant king? He takes over? He's gonna burn everyone who he thinks is weighing the country down. To be continued. It's the same. One Piece always does this. It's like the same thing with Goa Kingdom and what do you call it? The Great Terminal, right? The Great Terminal was just like this. They deemed it unworthy of being a part of the kingdom, especially when a celestial dragon was visiting. So they just burned it and everybody in it. And this is the second time it's happening to Kuma's kingdom too now. So you see why these guys become revolutionaries. Like, the guys who become revolutionaries are the ones who've seen the absolute worst of the world government and the celestial dragons. More specifically, the celestial dragons. Because their goal is to directly stop them, right? This was an amazing chapter. Sure, a few pages weren't completed, like the drawings. Most look good, to be honest. Just like the halfway point. Like when they're talking to Ginny on the Denden Mushi, you can definitely see that Oda didn't complete those drawings. But that's about it. Alright, let's go to 1099. Chapter 1099. I wonder if chapter 1100 is going to be special. And look who we get. Everyone's favorite Wano citizen. Raccoon Dogs Fixing Up Odin's Hair by Match and Takeshi. He looks annoyed, yo. Alright, let's go. You've done enough, Kuma. Huff, huff. There's no saving the rest. Come back. You're only going to lose your own life. Kumachi. Oh, he went crazy. I think he probably killed the king. No, the king's right here. Far to the east, another kingdom used the strategy successfully. The celestial dragons praised their beautiful city for being cleansed of all filth. In order to bring about great bliss and prosperity, a wise king must sometimes steel his heart and enact cruel reforms. King Bikori, or Bikari, I don't know how you pronounce that. The people are mounting furious resistance. Murderer, step down at once, put out the fires in the south. Kill a handful of them, and be rewarded. I guess they shot this guy in the head. Who dares defy the king's edict? Step forward. Who's that? Stop now or be executed. Kuma is pissed, man. Okay, imagine what I'm going to see in the next page. At Kuma's church. Hurry, treat the wounded. Stay inside, Bonnie. You don't want to be in the moonlight. Okay, I hope he's safe. Dad's always such a chicken. She's already the same personality as like the Bonnie we know. Which makes sense now why she has, I guess you could say, some like childish tendencies or personalities that you would see. I wouldn't say childish, but like personalities that you would see more in younger kids. Right? Like the way she is as a character. It makes sense now because she's younger than she appears. Stop right there. You know what'll happen if you strike the king. You'll pay dearly for this. You country bumpkin preacher. Oh, shit. Did he use Ursa's shock? This incident would be known as the Solo Revolution of Sorbet Kingdom. Sacred Mary Joa. I hear there's a new King Sorbet. Strange. Why does this guy look like he's got Foxy's hair? Is that just me? I swear this guy looks like he's got Foxy's head and hair. I hear there's a new king in Sorbet. Strange. We got Saturn. Who is it? Unable to resist the pleas of the people, Kuma, the king of the realm, living out of his old church. King Kumachi. My back hurts. I think you can stop teasing me now. The one actually in control at the palace is Old Bulldog. I'm just a figurehead to make the people feel better. The one actually in control at the palace is Old Bulldog. Who's Old Bulldog? Back in King Bulldog's day, 2 generations ago, is it this guy? Times were poor, but we were rich in spirit. Such was hard. Sure was hard not to. Sure was hard not having money to go around though. Oh, sure was hard not having money to go around though. I can't read sometimes. Wow, now Bonnie looks grown. Huff huff. Who's the girl running around the church? She looks just as pretty as Ginny. She looks exactly like Ginny, except the hair. Huh? Ginny? Even he doesn't know. Cardio. Why are you all so shocked? I have to be ready to go and see the horizon at sea with Daddy when I turn 10. Huh? Daddy? So I have to build up strength for... Huh? That was Bonnie? What was that transformation? Did you eat a devil fruit? When? Wake up, Kumachi. He got knocked out. Even she didn't know. Huh? Is this it? The HH fruit? Where did she... Yo, what's up, Rajat? Monkey D. Luffy, what's good? How's everyone doing? Great chapters ahead. Bonnie Simps getting exposed. All of them are Bonnie Simps. Foxy is confirmed God Knight. Yo, right? Like, bro, that looks exactly like Foxy. I swear to God, man. Look at it. All we see is the back of the head and the hair. But that immediately... There's only one character that has hair like that, and that's Foxy. With, like, the two pointy ends. How's everyone doing, though? It's been a minute. Is this it? The HH fruit? Where did she... Try doing it with your mind. Get older. And you see her trying. She reminds me... I'm sure I'm not the first person to say this. After reading this chapter, probably. I haven't seen anyone read the chapter, obviously. I'm just reading it now, but... She reminds me so much of Luffy. And, like, Luffy with Shanks. And when Luffy ate his fruit. It's just the same vibe. Try doing it with your mind. Get older. Stop that, Bonnie. You're going to wear yourself out. King Kuma, please, your majesty, grant us an audience. Huh? She turned into a wrinkled old bag. This is the form we see her in the Reverie arc. It really worked. She's hideous. It's not working. It's too hard to get older. Who are you, mister? You must be Princess Bonnie then. My name is Bulldog. I'm something like an aide to your father. I have weighty matters to discuss. Sorbet Kingdom, former king 2 generations ago. Bulldog. My mother is already here, I see. She's Connie, the one-time Queen Dowager. King Beckery's coming back. Look at this nonsense. Look at the nonsense in this article. I'm certain Beckery set this up. I mean really, seized the throne with violence by burning villages. He's trying to overthrow us from abroad. Wicked dictator. It means he was the world government. It means he has the world government on his side. Beckery will be back to take control, mark my words. There's intel that he's preparing battleships. Why didn't Kuma just kill him off? We can't have Beckery come back here. He'll have us killed this time. Don't worry, he won't set a single toe within the country again. Whatever he tries to bring back with him, I'll drive it all away. But once that happens, I'll be seen as a criminal. Whatever he tries to bring back with him, I'll drive it all away. But once that happens, I'll be seen as a criminal. I won't be able to stay here anymore. Once that happens, I need you to be King Bulldog. So he gets called the Tyrant Kingdom by their world government and newspapers and this King Beckery guy. That's most likely what happens then.
Would you take Bonnie under your wing in that case? Even this church will be in danger. All right, I'll find her a place within the same conditions. And she's still in her old lady form, talking to the other old lady. I did it. Bonnie, be a good girl while I'm gone. I'll be back when I'm able. That's my mom. You're leaving. You're leaving? I'll miss you. That's him, Navy. Kill him. And he's leaving. He's the man who stole Sorbet Kingdom from me. A true tyrant who's committed all manner of atrocities. Kill him now. I am the true king. You were a fool to show your face around here again. Naturally, Kuma sank all the ships. Naturally. And fled to sea. A bounty was placed on his head. It's so interesting then that because Kuma wasn't just a regular criminal or a regular pirate. He was directly an enemy to like celestial dragons and like the royals. Even like the five elders already knew about him and disliked him. So it's so interesting that they agreed to make him a warlord, because then they're buddies with him. And it's interesting that he agreed to become a warlord. The fact that Kuma was a warlord is super interesting now. It almost doesn't make sense. Like, how did two sides... Like, I'm sure they knew he was a part of the Revolutionary Army. So how did he become a warlord? And even if they didn't know, look at all the stuff he's doing. And fled to sea. A bounty was placed on his head, and through his pirate reputation and great strength, its value swelled over time. I wish Daddy was here. I want to see him again. I'm sorry, Bonnie dear. Remember, Kuma is the hero who saved this island. I don't care. He's my daddy. Once I'm 10 and I'm all better, I'll be a pirate too. Don't do it, dear. I can turn into a grown-up. And we see... Is that Big News Morgans? What is this small island? No. These are a bunch of different birds. Just some random island. Have you ever seen this disease before? She can't be in sunlight, the poor thing. This is like Law in Corazon, exactly. Is this Mihawk's castle? Oh, Abdullah and Jeet. Yo, Abdullah and Jeet from Dressrosa. I spy a hot bounty. Aren't you Bartholomew Kuma? Your daughter has 5 years to live. At best. He's thinking back to that statement. Oh, Tequila Wolf. He's going everywhere. Wait, is this Drum Island? No, that's not Drum Island. Anyways, Tequila Wolf. And then she won't see her 10th birthday. And then the Sky Island, what's it called? Witharia? The one that... Oh my god, he's going to all the islands he sent the Straw Hats. Which is why he sent them there, because he knew about those islands already. The first one is where Chopper was. The second one is where Brook was. The third one is where Zoro was, Mihawk's castle. The fourth one is where Frankie was. The fifth one is Tequila Wolf, Robin. The sixth one is where Nami was, the Weather Island. Yo, this is beautiful. And then we see Usopp's mentor here. She won't see her 10th birthday. So he sent them to all these islands because he already knew about them. Yo, Cosmos is in the building, everyone. What's good, bro? It will make sense later. What will make sense later? Actually, never mind. I'll just keep reading. Whose ship is that? Is that the Revolutionaries? Oh, it is. Hey there. Oh, you. Hey there, Kuma. Oh, the whole game. Whoa. Dragon smiling and drinking. This seems so out of character. Eva and Inazuma were thrown in prison. Now we're getting closer to the current timeline. And since I last saw you, you've been a king, a tyrant, and a pirate, eh? It must have come as a surprise to you. Nobody in the Revolutionary Army took those articles seriously, of course.
Is that that's Bello Betty, right? And then Morley. Hey Kuma, can I be the captain of the Eastern Forces? Why ask me, Betty? Dragon says the position eternally belongs to Ginny until you give permission. So it takes a foul-mouthed woman to run the Eastern Forces? I don't mind. Sabo, Koala, and the others want to see you too. We have many promising young members rising through the ranks. I want to show them off to you. I've seen what's happening around the world, and I often wondered what you would have done, Dragon. I want to return to the fold, but... Bonnie? As a matter of fact, I wanted to talk about her. You're aware of the Navy scientist, Dr. Vegapunk, aren't you? I knew it. It is Vegapunk that helps her. After the recent accident, he's gone to transfer to a new lab. Ordinarily, he's kept under heavy security, but he's more approachable during the transition. Thank you, Dragon. In all honesty, I'd given up for lost. In all honesty, I'd given it up for lost. I'll go and speak to him. If I can just cure Bonnie's disease, then I'd be happy to fight with you again. May the winds of fate guide us well, my friend. Another hint at his power. Yo, what's up, Jorge? Jorge Eduardo says, hey, I like your videos. Cheers. Thanks, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. And I appreciate you pulling up. We're almost done. 1098, I want to say. Or 1099. And then we're going to talk about the last two chapters. We're going to talk about it. If I can just cure Bonnie's disease, then I'd be happy to fight with you again. May the winds of fate guide us well, my friend. Back to Bonnie. Yeah, Bonnie, that was amazing. I was going easy on her. Daddy, Naval Science Division Laboratory 8, later known as Egghead. Where are we? We're seeing a doctor to get a checkup before your disease is healed. Bro, this guy is like, he really took care of Bonnie, man. I've never seen a man like you before. I was just thinking the same thing. This is the first time they met? Wow, look at his head. Gross. What a body. You have to let me study your muscles. For science, of course. And that's your sickly daughter? Kind of a brat, eh? I don't mind a little lip, though. Sapphire scales. You've done well to limit them for so long. She'll survive. She will? Bro, you came to Vegapunk, man. You're gonna get a different result coming to Vegapunk. I'll use some medical tech that I've been holding back from the public market. Technically speaking, I'll be generating new stem cells and transplanting them. It's about as much work and cost as creating a cyborg. She'll turn into a cyborg? It'll cost as much as I said. What is he? He's reading his reports or something? Huh? Tell me, are you a buccaneer? Yes. You know I'm with the government, don't you? I trust Dragon wouldn't put me in danger. What makes my blood different than other people's? Well, I don't have enough of a sample size to explain. You want to make clones of me? That's right. I've been looking for the right person to be the base for my clone soldiers, the pacifistas. Hence the chapter name Pacifist. Just provide me with blood samples and permission to create clone soldiers, and I'll cover the entire immense cost of Bonnie's operations. Just provide me with blood samples and permission to create clone soldiers, and I'll cover the entire immense cost. It's a fair trade. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. You can't pay for it yourself, I assume. Vegapunk cured Bonnie and came back to kill him. Vegapunk cured Bonnie and still came back to kill him. Makes sense. Oh, Bonnie came back to kill Vegapunk, you mean? I won't be declining the offer either way. But what will you do with them? And we see Sentomaru and Bonnie. All these soldiers that look just like me. Will they be in the Navy? These captions are missing a lot of words. That's right. Tell me, do you like electromagnetic energy? When they see a human being shooting a laser beam, shooting laser beams. Those pirates will go mute with shock. They'll be laid low. By the overwhelming power of science, my soldiers' bodies will be as hard as shields, deflecting bullets and saving the populace. They'll be heroes to the common man. I would argue they've done more harm than good. The mighty warriors from the future, and then he's an odd man. He's an odd man, but true to his desires and trustworthy. That's fair. That's a very good description of Vegapunk so far. That's what Dragon said about me. The nerve. Perhaps if clone soldiers based on me save other people's lives, then my own life will have meant something. Dragon's going to be furious about the terms. Well, I'm nothing but grateful to you both. I would make a deal with you to save Bonnie's life, even if you were the devil himself. Just save Bonnie. You're a true saint. Sacred Mary Joa. Clone soldiers are weapons? It's interesting that we're not seeing the 5 elders, but we're just seeing Saturn, now that we know him as a character. We only see his perspective. Whereas before, any time we saw one, they were with the other 4. It was always the 5 of them together. I guess it's showing that he has personal ties to Bonnie and Kuma. Like, he's more invested in that storyline than the other elders. Which I like. I like that they're giving them more individuality now. And weapons are valued by how many they can kill. Vegapunk would let a golden opportunity slip through his fingers. But I have a plan to deal with this. As you say, my lord. A saint? No, I'm nothing like that. Just a weak-willed pacifist. Ha ha ha, I like that. I think I'll use it for the name of my future soldiers. The pacifistas. Chapter end. Looks like no break next week. That was a good chapter. I like 1099 better than 1098, but they were both good chapters. They were both very good chapters. I wonder what this is leading to, though. Like, is this going to lead, once we're done this flashback, is this going to lead with anything with Kuma or just with Bonnie on Egghead? That's what I wonder. Because they're investing so much in Kuma, but as far as we know, Kuma is dead right now in the current timeline. So it's almost like, what's the point, right? Maybe it should have been Bonnie's flashback. Unless they're going to continue the storyline with Kuma. And maybe at the end of the day, maybe there is a way for him to return back. Do you guys think there's any chance in the story that Kuma can return back to his own mind, his own self? Like, be right back to who he was? Or do you think it's too late? He's doomed. He's screwed either way. Like, the happy ending can come for Bonnie, but not for Kuma. I wonder. Saturn must have made pacifists into weapons instead of heroes, and made the deal to turn Kuma. Well, the pacifists are exactly what Vegapunk wanted them to be in terms of strength and their tough, hard bodies and their shooting lasers. It's everything he wanted, the muscles. It's just how you use them. And at the end of the day, he can create the weapons, but he's just a cog in the wheel of the world government. He doesn't get to say how those tools are used. He just gets to create them with his vision, his mind. But then the Gorosei are the ones that say, okay, we're going to use them at Marineford. We're going to use them to defend Celestial Dragons when someone is acting up against them. We're going to use them to wreak all this havoc. So they were always going to end up bad in a sense because of who Vegapunk was working for. So I don't even think Saturn changed the pacifistas. They were supposed to be weapons and heroes. Because you can be a hero. You can have weapons like that, be heroes. But they were never on the side of the heroes. If that makes sense. This backstory is probably leading to Saturn being the bad villain in the current arc. Yeah, because he's already there. And I think that's also why Oda got Kuma out of the story really quickly. With Luffy one-shotting him, because he wanted it to be about Saturn, right? He wanted it to be more about Saturn and Kizaru. So right now, this backstory, one thing it is doing, like Monkey D. Luffy said, is we're seeing more of Saturn. So by the time we get back, we understand When Saturn and Bonnie are looking right across from each other, we get it. We understand the history there. The thing I think might happen is that Kuma will come to Egghead and sacrifice himself to save his daughter. I think that is probably like an 80% chance likely to happen, Teddy. I agree with that, and that's what I've been thinking since he like ran off. He's probably either going to Egghead to save Bonnie or to like stop her from doing something she shouldn't be doing in order to protect her. But the only thing that can make Kuma, because think about it, he's already lost his mind. The only thing he has left is like probably like the deepest things he cares about in his soul. To where even if he's unconscious, his body instinctively will still react on those things. It's become an instinct. And the only thing I can think of that would have become an instinct for Kuma is to defend Bonnie. Especially now seeing this backstory. I was already thinking that because she's his daughter, but now with the backstory and with what Ginny meant to him, and how he said he would never ever like leave Bonnie or stop protecting Bonnie. The only thing that would make him jump up and run away from not Goa Kingdom, from Ivankov's kingdom, can't remember what it's called, Kamabaka Kingdom, is going to Bonnie. Because that's not his mind operating, that's his instinct, which you can't erase. The thing I think might happen, or I read that, didn't Vegapunk say there's, how do I get this out of the way? This little like heart thing is blocking the comments. It's so annoying. It's like, bro, I can't see the last word on everyone's comment because of this heart. Didn't Vegapunk say there's a way to revive Kuma's memory? Did he? What was the way? Did he say what was the way? What chapter did he say that? He probably did. It just slipped my mind. But if there is a way to if Vegapunk already said that there's a way for Kuma to get back his memory, then that's it. It's a done deal. I don't believe, because the more I read Egghead, the more I believe that like there's more for Kuma in the future as well, not just the past. He's already been such a tragic story in like the time that in the current timeline as we've been reading One Piece. Even without seeing his flashback, he was already an extremely tragic character for us. He's never even had a moment of just being normal. We've been feeling sorry for this guy since Marineford, maybe even Sabaody. And then with the stuff with Marineford, when Doflamingo it was explained to Ivankov, then we already got like a glimpse of how tragic this character really is. So I think it would be really beautiful if this guy could at least have a happy ending. Where so many people fail to get it, let this guy get a happy ending. Or did he say there's no way to revive it? I don't remember. Honestly, Monkey D. Luffy, I don't remember at all. If you remember the chapter, let me know and I might be able to look it up. But I don't remember Vegapunk saying anything like that. But I don't have a very good memory too. Especially, Egghead's been what? A year and a half now? So I'm going to start, it's about that time where you start forgetting stuff unless you reread it. And I haven't had a chance to reread it yet. But I'm really, really hoping that by the end of One Piece, to be honest, Kuma gets a happy ending. Because he deserves it, man. He deserves it. He deserves it more than anyone. Sure, Ginny won't be there, but if him and Bonnie can just survive and be healthy, it'd be beautiful. Especially because if he dies and Bonnie lives, it's also kind of pretty similar to Corazon and Law, if you ask me. The only thing that would be different is the timelines. Like Kuma's still alive right now, but he's kind of dead, but kind of alive. Other than that, it's kind of like the same thing. He's going around island to island, trying to help cure this young supernova's incurable disease. She eats a devil fruit. He's being hunted and sought after to get killed. And then he has to make the ultimate sacrifice. But the girl who initially started off with no hope
and that she was gonna die, survives. It's very much like Law and Corazon. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that thinks that. There's no way. But what did you guys think of the chapter? And where do you guys think it's going to go from here? Interesting to see Dragon's conversation with him. If anyone's a pacifist, it's Dragon. He doesn't really do anything, man. He does less than Shanks. Like he's just casually chilling, smiling, drinking, and saying, "Oh, Ivankov and Izuma were thrown in prison," and like that's it. Good luck, guys. Just find your own way out. Impel Down, the worst prison in the world of One Piece too, and he doesn't. I'm not even saying like you have to go break them out and risk your entire operation, because I get it. This guy has his priorities, like we saw when Teach invaded Baltigo. He's only focused on one thing, and he's willing to sacrifice whoever and whatever to accomplish it, which is what a leader should do in a sense. Like the leader of the Revolutionary Army should be like that, sure. But he just seems like he doesn't care about any of the sacrifices that his people make. From Kuma to Ivankov, the only one is Sabo. He seems to be worried about Sabo when something is going on with Sabo. When Sabo was a kid before he joined and he took him in. When we thought Sabo got bombed at Leloucia. It seems like Sabo is the only one. Otherwise, he doesn't care. That kind of bothers me. That kind of bothers me, to be honest. I feel like Kuma will get an ending better than just being a celestial slave as a machine. That's what I'm saying. Because there's 3 ways the story can end for Kuma. There's the worst of all is he just stays as like a robot and he stays alive. That would be the worst case scenario. That would be the most tragic ending. Then there's he dies, and if he's going to die, it's going to be like a big giant sacrifice, either now in Egghead or in the final war. If it's now in Egghead, it's to save Bonnie. If it's in the final war, it's to aid the revolutionary armies. That would at least be good for his character to do that. And the third would be for him to get a happy ending, right? Yo, what's good, Ringo? He's back. Can you hear us now? I feel like Kuma will get it. I read that. Even if he isn't revived. I think, I don't want to say he has to be revived, but it would be really refreshing. It would be really refreshing if Kuma got revived, because we've seen so many. It would be too predictable if he gets a sad ending like this. Like, we've seen so many people go down this route and get tragic endings. It's like, just cut this one guy a break. From the beginning of his life, he hasn't had like a single really happy moment. It was like, okay, he's born as first thing he gets told is, look, kid, we're Buccaneers. And that's just that. Like, we just got to deal with life as Buccaneers. He sees his parents get murdered brutally. I think his mom died of a sickness. His dad gets murdered. Then he becomes a slave. He meets friends like Ivankov and stuff. Okay, it's a little bit of a happy moment. Boom, the God Valley incidents. And Ivankov, he has to split from Ivankov. All that's left is Ginny. Now they separate. They go to Revolutionary Army. Boom, Ginny dies. And now he has to take care of Bonnie. Just when it looks like he's gonna live a normal, happy life with Bonnie, boom, Bonnie gets a sickness. It's like something is always happening. He's never, like, this guy has never had a break in his entire life. Yo, John Phillips. Where are we? We just finished. John Phillips is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. We read 1098 and 1099. We just finished reading 1099. Really good chapter. Really, really good chapter. But how you doing, bro? How's life? The way Oda's mind work, I have no clue. For all we know, Mihawk will come to Egghead and slice Saturn because why not? Obviously a joke. Yeah, Oda can be very unpredictable sometimes. And I think something Oda has been doing a lot in the endgame is he's putting a lot of moving pieces together. It didn't work out in Wano, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, it did not work out in Wano. It made Wano worse. The amount of pieces he put in it, it was like you didn't need that many pieces.
And right now, I'm just hoping he doesn't do the same with Egghead, because we see Blackbeard ship is on the shore to Egghead. We have Kizaru, we have Saturn, we have Luffy, we have Rob Lucci's crew, we have Vegapunk, we have Bonnie, we have Kuma potentially coming. It's getting to a point where it's good, but if I feel like if he starts adding more, it's gonna get out of control again, just like Wano. I would rather you keep it less is more, right? Keep it to within whatever you can maintain and keep a good storyline of. So I'm hoping we don't get like infinity moving factors in Egghead. I don't want another character coming to Egghead. I'm being 100% honest. With Kuma coming, most likely, and Blackbeard ship on the way, that's it. We don't need any more. We don't need like a Shanks. We don't need like another Supernova. Doing pretty good. How about you? I'm doing pretty good, John. Thanks for asking. I'm already working on videos, but I don't want to say when they're going to come out, because it's always, every time I say it, it doesn't end up being the case. But just know, guys, I'm back home now, and I'm working on videos. I'm working on scripts, because I want my first videos to be good ones. So I wouldn't say they're going to come out really soon, but just keep an eye out. When you see one drop, I'm back. What do you think about that? Before he dies in Egghead, Kuma will fulfill his promise and send Bonnie and the Straw Hats to a sky island where we see Uroge. Can he blast them all the way to a sky island? I don't know. And what are we going to do in a sky island? Like, even if he does that, how are we going to transition from the end of Egghead to a sky island in the final saga of One Piece? Are we going to go straight from the sky island right back down to Elbaf? It seems like an interesting way to go, Ringo, but my only problem with that is what happens when we get to that sky island. Sure, if Uroge is there, that would be perfect, because that would be the last supernova we didn't cover yet. Whole Cake Island, we got Capone in detail. Wano, we got all of them in detail except for Bonnie and Uroge. Egghead, we get Bonnie, so it would make sense the next island we get Uroge in detail to cover all of the supernova now. Now we know about all of them. But I think Elbaf is next. John Phillips says, Kuma's at least in my top 5 favorite characters now, and his backstory might be top 1 if Oda lands the finish. That's fair, but I am really hoping Oda lands the finish. And he lands the transition smoothly. I think he will, though. It's not really the flashback that I'm worried about. It's where is Egghead going to go from here? And where is Kuma's character going to go from here when we get back to the current timeline? But I agree. This is a very good... It's not top 1 for me. For me, top 1 is undoubtedly, without a shadow of a doubt, a Sabo Luffy flashback. That's actually my favorite thing in One Piece. I like that more than I like Marineford and Enies Lobby and Arlong Park and Baratier. But it's not an arc, so I don't really count it. And then I would say Law and Corazon is second. No, Oden's flashback would be second. Law and Corazon's Dressrosa flashback would be third. And Kuma's is up there. But still, I'd probably put Nami at 4, to be honest. Robin at 5, and then maybe Kuma. But it's up there. Everyone's taste is different, though. I will say, though, it's a fantastic flashback for character development in terms of Kuma's character. Don't forget about the random person that Vegapunk called up for help, who said, okay, I'll help, something like that. Yeah, the guy that people were speculating was going to be Smoker or X-Drake, I think. I'm just waiting. I have no speculation about that. I haven't forgotten it, Teddy. It's still in the back of my mind, but I don't have any speculations or theories about that. When it's revealed, it's revealed. Kizaru and Saturn are too OP right now for Straw Hats. I feel another top tier might be on the way. Are they really too OP? I don't think so. Because Luffy, I'm assuming, can hang with Saturn. And then, what I really don't understand is how is Zoro being held back by Rob Lucci? Because if this is true, then yeah, it's too much. Because then, if Rob Lucci's enough to hold Zoro, then it will probably take like Zoro, Sanji, Frankie, Jinbei, Bonnie, Robin, Stussy, everybody else just to fight Kizaru. which is not. I don't really see it. I think Sanji and Zoro will be enough to at least stall Kizaru. So Zoro needs to quit playing around with Lucci. I think it's perfectly evenly matched right now, if I'm being honest. Especially if Kaku heals up and he joins Lucci again, then you have Saturn. Then you have Saturn, Kizaru, Lucci, Kaku, and I believe the Pacifistas. Yeah, because Saturn is here, and the Pacifistas against the Straw Hats, Bonnie, Vegapunk, Stussy, all of the Vegapunks, and whatchamacallit. I'm forgetting someone big. Not S Hawk and the Seraphim, because they're locked up. Someone else that's strong, that's on Luffy's side. I don't know why I'm forgetting. Wait, the Straw Hats. I said Stussy. Oh, Sentomaru. Yeah, it's fair. It's an even matchup. I don't think any side is favorable right now, which is perfect. What role do you think the big robot and Seraphim will play? Those are the bigger unknown factors right now. Yeah, I think the big robot is going to play a role at the end of the arc. I think it's going to probably save the Straw Hats and Vegapunk from Saturn or something along those lines. But I think that might continue. Like, if that robot gets up, it's going to continue on to further arcs. It's not just going to end with Egghead. Like, that thing is going to, I don't know, destroy Egghead and continue running amok. And it's going to continue on probably until the end of the series. It's going to be a moving factor in the end game because it's something that was a weapon from the Void Century, right? So if it does get up and it starts fighting, I think it's going to be bad news for the Five Elders. Very bad news. And it will probably still be around by the final war. In terms of the Seraphim, I think the Seraphim are unpredictable right now because it keeps changing, right? Now that the Gorosei is here, or that Saturn is here, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no higher authority in control. Because there's the controls for the Pacifistas, and there's the control for the Seraphim. And I think the orders might be different in order of priority of who gets to be in charge. But I believe at the end of the day, for both of them, the highest is the Five Elders. So if the Five Elders are there, they can rule it over Vegapunk, over Sentomaru, over an Admiral, over anyone else. So now that he's there, I think the Pacifistas and the Seraphim are pretty much locked in as enemies. But I don't know, because the Seraphim also have personalities, right? Like we saw with Hancock. So Hancock feels about Luffy the same way the real Hancock does. So stuff like that might come into play. I think the Seraphim, if anything, they might divide, where some of them, like Mihawk and Jinbei, might still be on the bad side, and then Kuma and Hancock might be helping out the Straw Hats. It all depends. They can bounce back and forth between sides, because that's how they operate. Seraphim are on Marine side too. Yeah, that's right, Monkey D. Luffy. You're right. The Seraphim. But right now, the reason I didn't include them when I was saying it's an equal matchup is because right now they're locked up. And it's gonna, for Saturn to go free them, you gotta defeat Luffy anyway. So the fight is gonna have to happen without them. That robot is probably an ancient weapon, so I think it's an end game thing, not irrelevant in this arc. If it's an ancient, I do agree with the fact that it's an end game thing, and it's gonna be more relevant in the end game than it's gonna be in this arc. I agree with that 1,000%, Monkey D. Luffy. But if it's an ancient weapon, then it's gotta be Pluton, right? Because not Pluton, sorry, Uranus, because we know obviously Poseidon, Shirahoshi. Pluton is a battleship, we know that for a fact, and Pluton is also in Wano, isn't it? So if this is an ancient weapon, it's got to be Uranus, which it very well could be. But do I believe it is? I don't think so, but that's a very good theory. Who knows, it might be true. John Phillips says, as far as we know, the Gorosei have higher authority than Vegapunk. Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong, but I think the Gorosei are the highest level authority for both the Seraphim and the Pacifista. I feel like we'll eventually get a 7 Warlords versus Seraphim fight.
That would have to be Endgame if that happened. But that would be weird because the warlords are all over the place, right? So that would be like Hancock. Like for Hancock to fight, it would mean like Rayleigh's clique of like Rayleigh, Hancock, Shaki, and then cross the guild for the sake of Crocodile and Mihawk. Then Dofi, who might join them anyways. Then you'd have to get Kuma, which would mean Bonnie. Then Law, which would mean his crew. I don't know. It'd be kind of weird. But maybe. Unless you don't mean like a 7v7 and you mean 1v1s. In which case we might get one or two matchups. Like Hancock versus Hancock. Jinbei versus Jinbei. But I don't think we're going to see every warlord fight their respective Seraphim counterpart. I really want to hear a dialogue between Flamingo, S Flamingo, and S Crocodile. Do they talk though? I don't think they talk. That would be pretty cool to see though. I want to see a conversation between the real Crocodile and the real Doflamingo. I think that would be sick. But this was a fantastic chapter, guys. Any last thoughts? Any last thoughts you guys want to share? You guys want to rate the chapter? What do you guys rate the chapter? Drop it in the chat. Chapter 1099. 1098, I would say 1098 was good, but it wasn't nothing impactful, nothing crazy. 1098, I'd probably give like a solid 7.5 out of 10. 1099, I would give like an 8.5 out of 10. This was a good chapter. This was a pretty good chapter. And it covered a lot of stuff too, right? From Kuma's tyrant, takeover of the kingdom, tyrant, you could say, to some of the stuff with Saturn, to Bonnie and her devil fruit, finding out her devil fruit, realizing it, Kuma going out to find a cure for her, reuniting with the Revolutionary Army, discovering about Vegapunk, meeting with Vegapunk, and making the deal with Vegapunk. The trade of Bonnie's cure for Kuma's abilities into the pacifistas. So I think 8.5, even maybe like I wouldn't say a 9. 8.5 out of 10 is good for 1099. The warlords are actually pretty stacked if you count all their allies. I have a feeling that the Cross Guild would be instrumental to starting the final war. I think so too, John. I think Cross Guild are going to be huge for the final war. Starting the final war and being a part of it are two different things, though. If they're going to be instrumental to starting the final war, that would be very interesting. We have seen that in Marineford. What have we seen in Marineford, Monkey D. Luffy? Teddy says 8 out of 10. That's fair. That's fair. I think the chapter was a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. I agree. I'd say 8.5 out of 10. One thing One Piece is special at is flashbacks, man. It's really good with flashbacks. And do you guys think 1100 we're going to go back to Egghead, or do you think we're going to continue this flashback? Personally, I think 1100 might be the end of this flashback, and the biggest thing of this flashback might happen in that chapter. And by the end of the chapter, I think it'll be a special chapter, fitting of 100th, because it's a big milestone, right? But by the end of that chapter, I think we're going to be moving on to Egghead. By 1101, I think we'll be back to Egghead. Crocodile and Dofi interact. Oh, yeah, we've seen that in Marineford, yeah. But it'd be cool to see it again, is what I mean. Now that Doflamingo has been taken down, he's no longer a warlord as well, and he's been in jail, right? They would have so much more in common now. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the stream. Appreciate you guys pulling up as always. I can always count on you guys. John Phillips, Cosmos, Monkey D. Luffy, Ringo. I'll shout out Matt C, even though he wasn't here, because Matt C is always here, so I'll shout him out too. Teddy, Rajat, Eduardo. Thank you all for pulling up. I appreciate it. And there's no break next week, right? Let me just double check. No break next week, so I'll be back. I should be able to live react to it the day it drops. So Wednesday or Thursday, whenever it drops, I'll put an update on the channel and I'll live react to it. In the meantime, I got a video cooking.
Okay, I got 2 videos cooking right now. One of them is a short form video. The other is a long form video. It'll take longer, but I think it'll be a very good video. So I can either take a while, not like too long, but take my time uploading, and my first video back will be a good video, or I can just give you guys like a good video as well. Like I'll tell you like a how strong is this character video, which is always a good video, but it won't be an in-depth detail analysis video, which is one of the ones I wanted to do. So I'll have to figure out which one I want to do first. But at the end of the day, I'll keep saying this. When you guys see a video drop, just know I'm back. Like, I'm not going to drop one and go back away again. Once I drop that one, it'll be back to regular scheduled programming. And I can't wait for that. John Phillips says, I think 1100 will be the end of the flashback for sure. I was hoping Dragon would do something, but I feel like we won't see him for a while after this. I agree. Man, Oda is teasing Dragon more than Shanks. I don't think we're going to see Dragon actually do anything physical until probably at this point, Endgame, man. Final War. At this point, like, Final War. Until Final War, we're not going to see Dragon do anything. I think it's a pretty safe bet. But next chapter is a big milestone. It's the first 100th of the 1000s. Chapter 1100. And it's going to be a good one. As soon as it drops, I'll put an update, and I'll most likely react to it that day. So I'll see you guys for that one. Can't wait to watch the videos. Thank you, Teddy. I appreciate it. I can't wait for you guys to see them. I can't wait for that. But that's going to be the video for today, guys. Thank you for pulling up, and I'll see you guys when the next chapter drops.